Hey Cannapreneurs, this week's show is sponsored by Dairy Berry's Recording Studio. Dairy Berry's Recording Studio, located in Arvada, Colorado, is your local recording studio with affordable rates. Mark is well experienced and will make your show, music, or any audio you have sound great. He makes our show come across the internet loud and clear every week, and he can do the same for your project. Take a look at dairyberriesrecordingstudio.com or call Mark at 303-456-8216. Open up, Colorado. It's 420. Time to grind and burn.
This is not your son's stoner show.
Welcome to the Cannabis Community Project radio show, your weekly broadcast podcast from the CCP studios high up in Denver, Colorado, here exploring the business side of this newly emerging Colorado economy, focusing on the business, the patient, the retailer, to the geek in the garage, creating that next innovation in cannabis. This is the first media platform to help fellow cannapreneurs just like you build sustainable business models while living the lifestyle. Thank you for joining us once again at the Cannabis Community Project. We have another great interview lined up. We have Jason from Titan Lighting talking to us about the new products coming into the market specifically for growers. You might remember Jason and Jason, the last interview we had, the two Jasons talking about growing, lighting, and all the new innovation happening. I learned a lot, and I'm sure you did too, and that's why we brought them back again for another week to talk about growing. Today, from Prestige Lighting and the head company Titan Lighting, to give us the newest update on where we're at in the growing industry, where we're at with lights. The last time we talked, I put him to the task of finding specific lights for growing that he could educate us about. And almost 5 months later, he's back. We're going to talk to him, the Grow Flounder. You remember Joe Grow Flounder, the first grower we had on the show for an interview. Make sure you stick through the whole interview with us, because sometimes I like to put in little secret bits here and there, and even stuff towards the end. But before we get into that, we first need to check back to last week's show, our short-term memory flashback. Did you hear that show? That was a lot of fun. We had a big party, had some music going, a lot of people showing up, doing cheese crackers and the whole bit. We learned about everybody down there and had such a fun time. I want to encourage all of you to go back and listen to the show. Here's a couple minutes right now of last week's short-term memory flashback, and then go back and listen to the full thing. So I want to help other people transition to this industry and look at it as a serious, legitimate opportunity. I don't want people looking at my show or anything I'm doing as anything less than somebody doing a show about real estate or finance or any other topic out there that one would take on a Saturday morning talk show.
Mm-hmm. We don't want them to quit their jobs. We want them to become self-employed and then quit their jobs.
Oh, right.
It has to come in a certain order. You can't reverse that order.
What?
This is Antoine with Bubble Sonics. What I do is I take care of the glass. I'm a specialty glass cleaner. I'm certified in ultrasonics through my training at Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology, industrial inspector. That's basically where I got my knowledge of using the ultrasonics in various different aspects.
So you have a cleaning product?
Yes, I have a cleaning service.
Cleaning service?
Yes, I have a
cleaning service. So not just a
service.
Product. You're not selling a bottle of something.
No,
you actually have a service.
I'm not selling a liquid to you or anything like that. I am actually selling you a service. It's a service. It's needed. It's the missing aspect of the smoking world. Beforehand, having a bong or a glass piece, it's taboo. You gotta hide it. Nobody, is supposed to know that you have it. If you get caught with it, you go in trouble.
Right.
Where I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. If you're caught with, glass with resin in it, that's jail time. You know what I'm saying? They're not. they don't care.
I get it.
You have burnt marijuana.
So your whole angle is a safety issue.
It's a safety issue, it's a health issue, and it's a lifestyle issue. Very different examples I can use of why. Yeah.
Because you can't just say, yeah, I'll clean it. Here's my dishwasher and I'm scrubbing it. You have to show them that these are safe to use as if they were new because of this, and this.
We all got to compete, but at the same time, let's have a genuine respect for the product and the medicine that got us here.
Right.
So that's why I promote other people, other glass blowers and things like that, to show love, because I appreciate all the fight that was done before me getting here. Because I was late coming to the fight. I just got here and it was all over.
Did you just start in this industry?
Yeah,
or what do you mean you were late?
Yeah.
In what sense? Like
in the sense of,
smoking?
I got here in March 2014.
Here to Colorado?
Here in Colorado.
Okay.
I don't come, like, that's why when you ask for who's competition right now,
what would stop somebody from just hiring a bunch of cheap laborers?
Because they wouldn't understand what they're doing.
Okay.
When they ask you, when a customer asks you, what are you doing? What's your method?
So explain to somebody that's sitting on the couch right now, smoking a bowl, right, talking about how they want my idea to exist in the world, right? Just because I can't do it myself doesn't mean I want to lit up and then probably sell it out and exit.
I'm trying to make it, okay, check this out.
Because you want to be a mogul. So to be a mogul, you got to build up and sell, build up and sell, build up and
build
sell.
and sell. Hemp or rope and things like that. It's something strong and tough, right?
There you have it. That was a lot of fun. Once again, if you didn't hear the full show, go back to wherever you're listening, iTunes, SoundCloud, even YouTube, wherever you are.
Don't be loading no bongs around here.
Not anymore. Now that we're in Colorado, we can say bong.
No. I went to the head shop. Head shop still can't say it. You still get in trouble. If you go inside and say the word bong in the head shop, they still have to kick you out.
I'm just here to smoke. So, you guys hanging out. That's all you need. Who's hitting it first?
Real life. You can catch me on a mission. Ambition is my drug, and I ain't dissing competition. I ain't tripping over love. So who are you to judge? I'm just trying to make a living, and I'm trying to take advantage opportunities I'm given. And I gotta pay tuition for my 3 little kids, and buy my mother a crib and do things I never did. So I gotta handle biz and put in overtime work, and I gotta feed my kids, and so I gotta grind first. Gets lonely at the top is what my pops always told me, and to keep my circle small and gotta watch out for my homies. So I'm chilling by my lonely, myself I trust only, and they smile at me first, and now they throwing dirt on me. Everybody think they know me in this world today. Ever since I seen success, associates and friends are different, so you know I got even less.
Now put your paper where your mouth is and be about it. I ain't blind to the facts, so I'ma see about it. You're damn right, I'ma see about it. I'm so DEF, cause I'm a G about it. Paper where your mouth is and be about it.
Mic check 1 2. What is this?
So,
you can call me Sup Man, cause every greeting I started with Sup.
all right, sup, man.
Sup.
Well, tell me about where you're from. What you all about?
Where I'm from is I grew up in Oakland, California. I was born in New Jersey. Moms flew us out to Cali, Oakland, of all places. Yeah, I root for the Raiders, but they're not number 1 or 2 on my football list. I'll go with my Vikings and my Eagles, and let's not even get with Adrian Peterson right now. That's a different subject, day and time. But I've been in Colorado since 92, married with children, 5, thank you, all at home with me and wifey. Word them up. But we have Dama Lifestyle.
Dama Lifestyle. How's that spelled?
D-A-M-A, which is Chinese for cannabis, hemp, and marijuana.
Oh, yeah? DamaLifestyle.com?
DamaLifestyle.com.
Okay. And if we go to that website, what are we going to find? Products, services?
Yes. Products, services. You name it, I probably got it.
Okay. Everything that's cannabis related, or what's the main
nonprofit as well.
Let's take a look at it here.
And cannabis related, yes.
Dama. You can find them on Facebook, DAMA Lifestyle.
What we're working with is a promoter coming into town. Everyone might have heard of the Gypsy Jane Jubilee event, Cannabis Carnival. Music for 2 days, Snoop, the Dog Pound exhibit, just to name a couple few. Too short, you know.
If you could get Snoop to come on my podcast.
If I can get Snoop
for the rest of my life.
Here at Gary's record.
here at the G Spot,
If
aka
you could
Gary's
get
Rec
him
Room.
to do a 5-minute sit down on my podcast at Gary's Rec Room for the rest of my life, I would be indebted. So I want to give you a little 5-second commercial.
So when you do go to the website and you go on a mobile device, go to the bottom of your screen and go to desktop. Get the desktop view.
All right, well, let's see what it says. Dama Lifestyle offers a wide range of services within the cannabis industry. All right, off to a good start.
Right.
Dama, am I saying that right?
You're
Dama.
saying it correct.
Dama offers marketing and advertising for cannabis-related businesses and cannabis-related products. Dama also offers private events and tours to personal and business functions. Dama has partnered with multiple cannabis businesses within the Denver metro area to allow a variety of locations, entertainment, food, etc. To meet the needs of each individual event and tour. Dama also offers exclusive memberships, which will allow members access to one of our private lounges.
Appreciate that.
No problem at all. I want to get as many people as possible given their products, services, businesses, because my whole show is based on the business side of cannabis.
And that's what we need.
It's not a stoner show. I don't, regardless of smoking on air, we don't really get into anything about strains or a lot of war stories. We just focus on those who are in business and those who are making business or want to be in business in cannabis. So I interview people and I talk to them about where they came from, how they got in business, what are they doing to get set up, what type of expenses and infrastructure they put in place, what type of
one time for the north side, one time for the south side, lyrically, deliberately killing
Now
any
put your paper where
delivery.
your mouth is and be about it. I ain't blind to the facts, so I'ma see about it. You're damn right, I'ma see about it. I'm so DEF, cause I'm a G about it. Paper where your mouth is and be about it. I ain't blind to the facts, so I'ma see about it. You're damn right, I'ma see about it. I'm so DEF, cause I'm a G about it.
Hey Cannapreneurs, we have a new sponsor, the Cannabis Commodities Exchange. Go to www.cannaexchange.com. The Cannabis Commodities Exchange is a secure online marketplace where medical and recreational marijuana businesses can list lots of their products for wholesale, make custom purchase requests, and negotiate transactions with other users. CCX provides a secure cannabis training platform to Colorado licensed retail and medical marijuana businesses. Stay tuned. Feeling guilty about a time with cannabis? Get it off your chest and confess it on Cannafessions, your public forum to absolve your soul.
New voice message Wednesday 4:21 p.m.
Yeah, I'd like to make a confession. My name is Walter, and I have to confess that I went to Carlsbad Caverns, kind of got separated from our group a little bit. A friend and I were just standing there watching the cave, and we decided to light one up there in the middle of Carlsbad Cave, and I kind of feel bad about that, but I'm glad I did it. So thanks for letting me confess.
To replay this message, press 1. To delete this message and go to the next, press 7. To say you have no more messages.
And that was Cannafessions. If you have a confession to make, contact me via Facebook or the website at cannabiscommunityproject.com.
How many moons has it been, darling? How many months since you
Cool. Well, if you don't mind, Jason, we're just gonna have everybody sit in.
Cool.
Because Joe's a grower. Joe's an electrician. He's a grower. Has a couple companies. And the last time we actually did a show, he wanted to come up and be on that because we knew we were gonna be talking about lighting. So Joe came all the way up from Pueblo to be on this show today.
Welcome, Joe.
Joe drove 2 hours. 2 hours home.
Fun.
How you doing, Grow Flounder?
Not too bad. Glad to be here.
It's been a while since we've seen you. You know, you're still the highest rated show up to this point. Every time I look at my analytics, I
all right,
still
we'll
got
have to try
smile.
to beat that.
Man, we're with royalty.
I know.
We had a good show last time Joe was on. We talked a lot about growing and the business of and all the same stuff you and I talked about. Yeah. Probably not as much about lighting as what we talked about, but last time when we talked, Jason from Prestige Lighting, distributed by Titan Lighting, is that how you say it?
Yeah, I mean, Prestige was started because I started selling LED lighting.
Okay.
And everything is going LED. My best friend, Jason Gray, the other half, is...
Jason and Jason.
He's the Sparky, so I figured let's start our own business doing this. You know, it's real easy work from a retrofit standpoint. It's... You know, some of the fixtures that we deal with are a lot higher.
Right.
If there's equipment or you know, in a warehouse where stuff lights are hard to access, that becomes a problem for us. But other than that, it's pretty simple. Our new lights just came out, so we got a lot of stuff happening at Titan here.
Well, last time we talked, we were talking about this new lighting that was coming out. You hadn't quite had it yet in your inventory. But if people want to hear the show we talked about last time, because we're not going to go back and rehash a lot of that. So if people want to find it. Show number 10, Prestige Lighting, Superb Growing, May 15th. Has it been that long already?
Can you believe it?
So if people want to go back and hear Jason, and myself having the full conversation about where you came about in business, what the business was all about, go back to iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, wherever you're listening, find episode number 10. But today, you brought on some new products to show us. I think last time we talked, I put some homework at you because we specifically wanted to know about lighting for cannabis growers. And that's what you've come today prepared to talk about, correct?
Prepared to talk about. Yep, our grow light is... We actually have it in studio today.
Nice.
Actually brought it down to show you guys
Very cool
it working
looking.
in action. So
It is. It looks very futuristic.
I brought the specs. I brought basically there's two lights that we have. One's a 315 watt. That's to replace 600 watt metal halide or HID. And then we have a 560 watt that's going to replace up to 1500 watt
Wow.
HID. So, and what we were talking about when I came in is this has got the full spectrum, basically 470 nanometers up to 740 nanometers.
I have no idea what that means, but that sounds very cool. That makes me want to go, wow.
And basically, it's just...
I don't know why.
It's the full spectrum of light that you need to grow cannabis.
I remember talking about spectrums. You want to break that down for the layman's because for those of us who aren't growers or specifically involved with electrical work, what does that mean?
Well, I mean... It's as layman to me as it is to you. I'm still learning it, and we might want to consult with the guy who's been doing some of the growing.
What do you think, Grow Flounder? Do you have some insight to what these vocabulary words mean?
Well, the spectrum is all of the colors that the light comes from the sun. So we only want to use certain spectrums. Nanometer is just a way of measuring the
so it's a measurement of spectrum.
Yeah, I'm waiting to look at it. I'm pulling it up right now here.
All right, so as he Wikipedias that, let's move on. The light looks very cool. It was heavier than I was expecting, right? Because we think LEDs to be real lightweight. What's the weight in this container you brought up here? Is it the fans, the ventilation?
Well, a lot of if you look through it on the back, you'll see the heat sinks that are behind the LEDs.
Okay.
And that heat sinks, they're metal, so there's some fans in there. There's 6 fans in there.
Four lights. Well, how would we describe this? So there's 4 circular spaces that each contain 6, 9, 12, 15, 20 individual bulbs?
It's 320 pieces. So that's the LED chip quantity, 320 pieces.
Okay.
For 560 watts.
So it's a 4x4 circles, and inside each circle there looks to be about more or less 16 to 20 individual bulbs.
Right.
And it's in a square shape. What are we looking at? 2x2? 2 foot, 2.5 foot?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Okay, yeah, that's always been my talent.
We can turn it on.
What color is it?
It's going to be ultraviolet, purple. Yeah.
So, are we going to get cancer from standing in the room with it?
No, absolutely not.
Do I need to put on my sunglasses with
need to
UV
put on,
protection?
You will need to put on your sunglasses.
I left those in the car. Do you have any sunglasses on you? So all the pictures, what we're talking about, you'll see them up at Facebook and the webpage. We have our in-studio tech guy, Scoop, joining us, running the boards today, taking pictures. So we're going to get video or just photos? What can we get? Can we get both? We can do both? Okay, so we're going to get photos and some video. We'll put them up on Facebook and the webpage.
Yeah, I mean, you guys ready to see this thing? We turn it on,
sure.
And you guys look kids in a candy store here.
Let's turn it on because I think that'll spark some questions and some where we're going with the lighting. Now, Joe, are you still growing?
Yeah.
You got a grow going right now?
Yeah.
What kind of lights do you have up?
I just got your standard metal highlights.
What does that mean? Like fluorescent lights from an office building or what?
Yeah, I got right now I got 1,000-watt metal highlights, vegging.
1,000-watt metal highlights.
So that's the big old fat bulb with the giant element in it.
They get real hot.
It's got the 2 openings on.
So you need ventilation.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this contraption he's brought down?
It's pretty cool, man. It's definitely futuristic looking.
Okay.
And it's supposed to shine.
All right, so
we're up. Here we go.
Half a bank.
Whoa, jeez.
Okay, that's kind of a...
So we just turned on the light, and it is an intense color, an intense ultraviolet that is literally illuminating the room almost to a blinding point. It's hard to look at. I definitely need to put on my shades. I'm putting on my glasses.
It's not one color. It's a couple different colors.
So you guys, let's look at the red and the blue. I think that's what's the most important. From what I was reading, blue is for growth, red is for flower.
Okay.
So what you can do
right,
with this
metal
light,
highlight is kind of bluish color.
So say that again. Blue is for when you're growing.
Vegetation.
Red is for when it's in the state of flowering.
of flowering.
Okay.
And so what I was told is you can run half the light during veg and then give it a full blast during flower. So you can actually cut your watts in half during the vegetation state. So now you're taking 560 divide that in half while you're vegging.
Right.
When it's flower time, I've heard what's about 4 weeks for flowering, three weeks for flowering.
Yeah, 50 to 70 days.
Okay, 50 to 70 days, you're going to run the guy full power.
And how much power are we talking about?
Let's speak in watts or amps.
560 watts, so it's going to replace up to 1500 watt HID. If you look right over your shoulder there,
and I can touch the bulb here. I got my hand on the bulb.
How does it feel? Is it cold?
It's just just light, warm.
And that's a great point that you make there, because now what you're going to be able to do is you're able to put this fixture right down on the plants. So you don't have to have the fixture too high, because you never burn the plants with this. Within 6-8 inches of the actual plant itself, you can have that light.
And that will give the plant a better surrounding of the light, a better absorption, being closer.
Well, everybody talks in luminas and to try to get the light as close to the plant, because you lose luminas as you get farther away from the plant. So the closer you can get it, the more luminas you can have. The hotter the light is, the farther you need to keep it away.
Okay.
So this allows you to get it real close and keep the luminas.
Okay, I'm going to shut the light off and watch what it does to your eyes.
It's like taking your glasses off in a 3D movie.
Well, it's that high fluorescent coloring. It's like in art class when you have a high yellow or a high pink, a high fuchsia color in front of you, and then you take it away, your mind's eye can still see it because it's so intense, the intensity of the light. That's an intense light.
It reminds me of a 3D movie that was on TV, and we didn't have the glasses. It was a Garfield movie, and it looked just like that. Everything was glowing purple and red.
So how much space is that one unit good for? What size of a grow?
I would think you could probably grow 3-4 plants.
Well, it's kind of a trick question. See,
3-4 per one of those?
Mm-hmm. Maybe 6.
Oh.
I think it's all based on the height.
Okay.
It's all based on the height, because if you move it 5 feet off the ground, you're going to get a wider range. However, you're going to lose your potency of the lighting in any light.
Yeah.
So if you're standard 3 feet off the ground, you probably get 5 or 6, or you probably get 8 1-foot plants together under it. course, as they get bigger, you'll need to stretch that out.
So if you were following Colorado's 21 and older, where you can have up to 12 plants, you would need up to 3 of these?
Well, I don't know. You could probably do it all 6 plants under 2 lights and make them fairly healthy plants.
2 of these. So let's get into the question everybody's going to ask then. How much are the lights?
That's the question, huh? I don't know if I want to reveal that.
Is it a secret? Why would it be a secret?
No, that's not a secret. This light is going to retail for $1,700.
Okay. As compared to what with other lighting? I mean, what would somebody be... Well, we have 2 growers in the room. Scoop is a grower. What are you spending on lights? What kind of lights you have?
Let me jump in real quick, and let's talk about some of these specs real quick. The par value is LM, was color temperature, par value 300... So it's 300 mm to 4800 UMOL. LM 4800. So that's your color temperature. I think that's a par value.
Okay, so we have Scoop with us and we have the Grow Flounder. Both of them are active growers, current growers. So let's just get it straight from the street. What are they using? And let's hear what Scoop has to say. What are you growing?
Well, basically, I would guess around $600 would be a good price for a 1,000 watt light and ballast.
That would be equivalent.
That's correct?
Yeah, that's probably
that would be equivalent to the plant count that he just referred to, the 4 or 5 plants or so.
Well, I would say I do 4 underneath 1,000 watts.
Okay.
So what I basically do is daily I turn them once every day to make sure that the light is even. And I found that 4 work out pretty good. Some people actually do 2. It's all in your budget too, but anywhere from $600 to around $1,500 would be from your low end to your top end of a full complete setup.
So more or less about the same price that you just quoted here, but half the power usage as what you're currently expending.
And a line out for fans. Right. So fans are rather expensive too, depending on like if you're using the max fan, which I believe the 10 inch into 8 inch is going for $343. So depending on the stretch of your room would be depending on how many fans you needed to get the air out.
Okay. What about you, Grow Flounder? How many lights are you using, and what's your cost every month?
I figure each 1,000 watt lamp costs me about $60 a month.
Okay. And how many are you running?
Right now I'm just running 1, getting ready for season. They're all little.
Okay. Would this be a viable replacement for what you're doing? Because
it looks like it. That I could fit, like he says, about four plants per light is about what you get. That's good spacing in between them. It gives you room to move them around. If they get a little bit bigger, you can stretch them out a little bit farther. But about 4 plants per fixture is what.
Are you rotating your plants also, like Scoop over here, or how do you let your lighting distribution go?
Yeah, the idea behind rotating the plants is not to have any shady spots. Shady spots create different temperatures in the plant, and once they get accustomed to them, they'll like to grow things and have problems. So you keep them moving all the time, keep them spinning around. I actually have mine on a big wheel, so the whole thing spins, so the actual pot doesn't spin. But it's on a large, what do you call those?
Little spinny things.
Yeah. Spinny thing.
Spinny thing.
But the problem with that, it falls over. If you get too much water in one, it falls over a little bit. So I'm still working on it. But yeah, I move the plants around all the time.
Another thing to determine how many you can put under there is obviously the strain. You know, some strains grow tall and lengthy and some bush out. So that's another, depending on what you're growing, also depends on how much
lighting you need. Now, Jason, was this light built by Titan for cannabis growers, or is it just a great coincidence that it's going to be used by cannabis growers? Well, I'm sure they're not going to say that in their memo, their marketing materials, but is there any other reason this type of light would be built? I mean, is it necessary when you're doing tomatoes to have such lighting?
Actually, the yield I'm hearing from the tomato growers is double.
Really?
Yep. Vegetables, peppers, tomatoes, herbs, basil, flowers, orchids, any hydroponics, greenhouse, home gardening, farm and flower.
So it's just replicating the sun that much better.
Yep. When they go back to what they're talking about spinning the plants and not getting shady areas, I think this is going to solve that because of the LED has an optic, so it's spreading the light, it's pushing the light to the plant better. So I believe when you put a plant under this, there's not going to be any shady spots.
That slightly went over my head. So LED has an optic that's pushing the light better to the plants.
Yep. That's why
Can
LED.
we test that?
Yeah, that's why. For example, our tube lights. For our tube lights, our new tube light has a 120 degree optic on it. So basically, all the light comes down from the tube light. A 360 degree fluorescent light, you lose half of the lumens going up. So with optics, you get the light where you need it. So for
less
example,
shadows.
Yeah, less shadows. I think your shadows are going to be taken out when you use LED. I don't think you're going to have shadows. To me, that light, if you look at it, I don't think it can produce shadows.
Right.
It sounds like it's more directed.
Yep.
It's like the sun shines on everything.
Right.
But you don't want it to shine. You don't want this light to shine on everything. You just want it to shine on your plant.
Uh-huh.
And so it's more it's like the floodlights and a spotlight.
Right.
I mean, the floodlight shows everything, but the spotlight really lights up that one star.
Focuses it more intense
So
on a smaller area.
Sounds like
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Well, let's take a street light, for example. If you ever look at a big 1,000-watt street light, the big reflector inside that street light, it's trying to capture all that light that's lost going up inside the fixture and get it to go down.
Redirect it back down and flood it out to illuminate as wide as area as possible.
Right. And that's why that type of light, there's no comparison between LED, because our LED street lights have 120 degree optics, have 80 degree, have 60 degree. We're putting the light where you need it.
Right.
So that's the benefit with LED is you're not losing any lumens up. Our 285 watt high bay puts out 25,000 lumens. So, and that's directed all down.
That's the intensity of the light.
Right.
So what are I assume you've sold some of these to growers already. What's the feedback you're getting?
We haven't. We're still trying to market this. This is a lot of people are just
Well, we need to do a test then. We have a couple growers in the room here. We need to do some type of test so we can get some paperwork of something that shows some statistics, numbers, something.
Right. Yeah, and I have 6 lights in the state right now that I have access to.
6
lights.
6 of these right here.
6 of
That's
them.
it.
That's it. So, yeah.
That's enough.
Yep, that's enough. So I have 3 560 watters, and I have 3 350 watters. Or 315, excuse me.
So what would you say is the real price difference? Because that's probably the price difference in the solid unit versus the price difference between the electricity that you use through your normal digital ballasts.
Yeah, I would think that price difference is huge, and that's something I wanted to ask you guys. How often do you change your bulbs out?
I change mine out once a year.
Yeah, about. Or when they quit.
When they die.
I give them hell.
Yeah, and see, I'm hearing that from growers, and I'm also hearing that if you want the most bang for your dollar, you're changing your light every grow or every other grow.
So it's like a battery. Just because it's still working doesn't mean it's the fullest of juice that it's giving you.
Right. I can definitely tell when my lights are getting old.
You got a light meter, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to tell right there.
Just waving the light meter in front of it.
Well, there's a light meter. You just put it on there just the difference between like a T5 and an HPS.
And what are you looking for? What's the number of a light meter you're looking for?
The higher the better.
Yep.
Meaning
that's your meter.
That's the more lumens that you're receiving?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see a big difference between most all the lights. I mean, when you're just standing there and you put your light meter next to the lower leaves of the plant and then move it up to the top leaves of the plant, you can definitely see the meter jump all over the place. And there's, from just a foot difference, there's a huge difference.
If you're out growing outside and you hold it 3 foot from the ground and then go up 6 foot, is it going to change?
Don't think.
You probably won't see much of a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever tried that, honestly. I'm going to definitely try that when I get home. But
now it does that on your light meter.
You moving your light meter 3 feet closer to the sun isn't close enough to make a difference. I mean,
right.
You got to. It's about percentage. How many million miles away is the sun, and you're going to move your thing 3 feet? It's not going to change.
Yeah.
I mean, the sun. It's a whole different thing. That's what everybody's trying to do, is reinvent the sun. But obviously you can't do that. It's a whole different.
In small pieces we can,
thing.
right?
But yeah, well, the science is catching up with the agriculture, where they're trying to identify the exact spectrum the plants need and give them
Right.
just that. And don't waste your time on the other stuff. I mean, we look at this light and it looks red and blue to us. It looks purple.
Yeah.
But we can't see infrared and ultraviolet. So I wonder what it really looks like.
Yeah.
You know, to the plant,
It looks like
it
infrared.
must look like heaven or nirvana. You know, the
Yeah.
plant's going, it's singing, the angels are singing, you know?
That would have been a good test, is bringing a normal ballast in here with 1,000-watt light and then taking the light meter to it and adjusting space to it. If you take that and do that with a T5, you know, it's dropping rapidly versus like an HPS or metal highlight.
But let me give you an example. A perfect example is people who are putting in T5 high bays over LED lighting high bays. Okay, if they're 15 feet or higher, they're losing 40% light to the ground. As opposed to an LED that's got an optic, they're not losing any light value to the ground. So when you do that test, that foot candles to the floor, LED is going to beat it every time just because of the optics. The optics are getting the light once again to where we need it.
So LED is the way to go of the future for everybody.
Well, I mean, we run high bays right now. We put in some high bays. Basically, it's six 16-watt tubes. These are our new tube lights that just came out. What Titan did is they pulled the driver out of the light and they made it external like a ballast. So you put that in there. We have a high bay system. It's just a six lamp troffer. It runs 6 of those tubes in there. It runs at 96 watts, and it puts out over 12,000 lumens.
Wow.
If you were to compare that to a T5 high bay system, you can get that same lumen output, maybe even higher, but you're running at 360 watts or higher. And then every day that T5 runs, it loses efficacy.
And what does that translate into dollars?
Well, I mean, maintenance cost. I mean, what is maintenance? You know, I've seen maintenance costs. I did a return on investment for a company that's paying $135 an hour to have an electrician come out first hour. Then it's $82 an hour after that to replace street lights, ballasts, bulbs. They're also paying for the bucket truck. So the bucket truck, once again, is another $135 plus $80 an hour. So the return on investment after the install, $40,000 in lighting, was 2 years.
Okay, for big. But what's the dollar and cents on individual growers?
I would say it's huge because, like we talked about, you change your lights out as they go bad, right? You see them going bad. So this LED light's not going to lose light value for 50,000 hours. No, there's no light value lost.
I need my calculator now. Hold on.
And how much is a new bulb? How much is if I bought this unit and 6 years down the line I needed to buy new replacement bulbs? What's the price level on one of them?
That's a good question. That'd be something that, you know, I think at that point when the actual light dies, I think we'd have to send it back and it would have to be restructured. You could still use the aluminum casing, but they'd have to put 2 new chips and new drivers in it. So you probably wouldn't pay full retail, but you'd probably pay, $500-800.
How many thousands hours? 55,000?
50,000.
50,000 hours. All right. How many hours in a year?
If I remember right, if you
5
run it,
years, I think.
6 years.
There, we got from Bob.
if you run it 24 hours a day, if I remember right, that's 6 years. So you don't have to replace your lights for 6 years.
Yeah, 5.7. Yeah, so 6 years basically.
Well,
So basically running the T5s or the vegetative state, and that's the reason why people do that is to save money, not running 600 watt metal halide. You save a lot of money. You could still do that and then transfer them over into your flower room and probably save hell with those fans running and everything.
I think they're great lights. I just think that we need to figure out a cost on them that the average guy can.
So you're saying it's
Well,
double the cost
That's a
of what
trick
you're
question
paying now,
too.
but
That's
it's gonna
because
last
the
you
average
5
guy
times more.
starts growing, and that you're going to spend the money later. Anyway,
you're going to pay the electrical company.
That's all about the Chiba huts. Is the same thing. Is I've tried to design it to where you're going because do it for a year and you're going to go, dang, I should have just bought that self-contained one of switch.
It's always been in
unit.
question up until late. Technology keeps growing. It's always been in question: is an LED light worth it?
Yeah, and let's touch a little bit on this because I found out today that you can use our tube lights for the veg state. So you can take your T5 high bay fixtures and you can put our LED tube lights in there, and you can cut your energy 60% or higher.
Okay, now we're talking.
And you can use those lights to do the veg. And I just found that out today. I actually talked with with my boss so that I, had a little bit more knowledge on what's going on. Like I said, I'm more, this is new to me. I'm coming from a computer world over to a lighting guy, and I'm learning as I go. I think we have an opportunity, though, to get you a lot of tube lights in your hands and retrofit your T5s or your regular fluorescent fixtures, get those out of the picture, cut your energy significantly. Our 4-foot tube runs at 80,000 hours.
Probably the best thing about them is that you're giving less money to the power company. Because that's something that just reoccurs over and over, month after month after month. It never goes away. So, and as far as waiting, if that thing runs for 6 years, well, you know how technology works. 6 years from now, it's going to be cheaper to just replace the light than it will be to fix it.
Yeah.
It'll be like fixing your VCR.
Is that true? Are these going to come out at Walmart for a couple $100 one day? Or?
Well,
it might, but I don't think the quality will be there.
No, and that's the thing with Titan. In Titan is the growth of Titan right now is we had 2 weeks ago it was 2.5 million in lighting sales.
And is that just TitanLighting.com?
TitanLED.net.
Well, we should set up there. We just should challenge them to prove that it grows better, and just set up a grow here for the next couple months and let it grow and use some cheap lights.
Well, I have a 1,000-watt ballast.
I'm ready to do that because I'm buying this light's going to be mine. I have access to 5 other lights, and if I
do you have a demo sale?
If I don't do it with you guys, I'm going to do it myself at my house. So
all right. Well, we got 2 growers right here that I'm sure we can figure out some way to get something worked out.
I tell you what, if you guys are willing to help with the grow, I'll provide the light. You guys provide the plants, the dirt, the nutrients. If you guys need me to help out on that, I will as well. But if you guys would be willing to help me, because I don't know anything about that. So if you guys would be willing to eat the cost on setting just the setup, just plants, food, dirt.
I think we need to make it as basic as possible. Just keep it, even.
I don't know what you do, but I'm using rock wool. So
whatever you want to do, man.
That's the easiest, man.
But just some standard dirt. I use my own dirt that I make. I try to make enough of it for the whole year and plan it out, but that never works, and I'm always mixing at the last minute. But this year's dirt's coming really good. Last year I only got a really good mix of enough to fill 2 big plants, and I for a while was wondering about all the different dirt and everything too, if it makes a difference along with lighting. And the first batch of dirt I made was the right recipe, and I was able to fill 2 big plants. And when I got them from the Cannabis Cup, some friend of mine gave me some plants at the Cannabis Cup. They gave me 4 different strains, and the second 2 that I filled up kind of got a half-assed combination of not the right recipe but dirt, and it was amazing, the difference. All
right, did anybody answer what he just offered? I mean,
that
the guy's
good.
offering to provide expensive, high-price, new technology lights for grows, and you're just stammering around like you don't know what to do with tits in your hand.
I also have my new tube lights coming my way. So I have a 6-lamp troffer, so we can put 6 LED tubes in there for veg. I'll be willing to sacrifice that light as well.
It has to be done where we can track it and follow it, and it has to be some type of setup. So what's the deal here? Is this something that would work for you or in your location? Scoop, talking to you.
Possibly.
That doesn't sound too convincing.
We just need to get the video camera, because we got to watch it all the time so we can actually see the grow and see the difference, and maybe do a time lapse of it so we can actually see. Put it in some standard soil.
What I say is the real test,
exactly the same, and grow them.
The real test would be a side-by-side comparison.
Side by side.
So you throw 2 under each of them, under a 1,000-watt ballast, and you throw 2 underneath that light, and see which one comes out to be better.
Right, but the offer was if one of you guys wanted to do it. So if you guys want to be pussies about it, let me throw it out there to anybody that's listening. If there's any growers that are listening that would like the newest technology, the best of lights, provided for a grow sample, contact me via the webpage, cannabiscommunityproject.com. I'll set you up with Jason from Prestige Lighting, and we'll get some real growing going on. These guys don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what to do. Whether or not these guys want to take advantage of it, is the offer open to any real grower out there in the audience that would like to use your lights to have some direct insight and input for specific cannabis growers? And that way we can have somebody part of the community using the light for this reason. And not saying, I grew squash or tomatoes or using other euphemistic words, but somebody who's actually growing, we can get the light in there, track it for a few months or a couple cycles, whatever, and have something local right here to Denver.
I'm ready.
I just want to make sure that it's the light that does the work and not anything else. I mean, so we can do it whenever. Do it right here in the office.
Did you bring a plant?
Well, I just got to run and grab some. It's not a big deal.
Can we have a plant going in the office here?
I don't think that's going to work.
In the studio?
I've made that offer to numerous people, and people, they're just scared that they can't lose a grow. They can't, they can't invest their time into something that they don't know that's going to work. And I'm like,
I
know it works.
Yeah, we can definitely do it. It's not a problem.
I mean, it can't be like an open community kind of thing. But I mean, I'm a blogger, and I have a camera, and I have video, and if something like that was to come across, I definitely would snag up on a light and give a Fort Worth testimonial.
Well, there you go. You could run a little blog on it and have a little running blog as it's happening.
And I'm already doing it, so I mean,
yeah, and we really need that, because this could be a game changer for all the growers. It really can. I mean, a lot of people that I talk to, they say that LED, you're just not going to get the same yield. And so I want to ask you guys as growers, would you be willing to sacrifice a little bit of yield for good quality product at
a cheaper price,
at an energy reduction? Like this gentleman said, you're already paying the energy bill every month, and anytime I'm talking to people about lighting, they want to say that LED is too expensive. My rebuttal to that is what you're running now is too expensive. Ballasts and bulbs and maintenance, and you're running 300 watt fixtures or higher. That's too expensive. LED up front is expensive, but it is the only light on the market that's going to pay for itself in under 5 years on average.
So we'll keep a running little segment. We'll check in every few weeks.
Sure.
We'll have Scoop, our on-staff blogger and photographer, take weekly photos.
I think daily photos pretty much useless, don't you think?
Okay, so monthly, weekly. How are you going to track this?
Well, I'd say I would track on the blog daily.
Okay.
Things that I notice from the 1,000 watt ballast to that, and then probably a once a week photo of pick your target.
Where are we going to post that? Where should we post it through? You going to post it through one of your pages? You want to post it through
you?
Okay. So check into the CannabisCommunityProject.com Facebook webpage, the blog section, and then we'll track it. We'll track it for a couple months. We'll do some photos every few weeks, do some daily writing, and every couple weeks I'll throw a little segment in the show of a couple minutes, a little update, and work it into the show.
So some things I wanted to add, if there's any dispensaries, any shops, Excel's giving great rebates to convert your fluorescent lighting in your buildings.
Nice.
It's 20% on average what I'm seeing. They're kicking a 30% bonus right now if you get it done by December 1. We have retrofit display cases as well, so we can display your product that you're selling in any type of display case. We can pull those fluorescent tubes out, put LED tubes in, and the display cases are beautiful.
So important. People don't realize that shitty lighting really affects the quality of how your product looks when it's behind glass. And there's nothing worse than walking into a dispensary or any other type of store and just looking through a dirty, dim lit glass with products that you can barely see, people getting on their hands and knees looking through the cases. Having a good case and good lighting truly does make a difference. And I think that can increase impulse buys also. When people are standing in front of a case and they see something that looks good, they have an impulse buy and they buy. Increased sales for every dispensary or head shop.
I'll get you some pictures that maybe you can put. I don't know where you're putting your stuff, but we'll get. Mantra Tattoo is a friend of mine that reached out, wanted his display cases for his jewelry. We actually did his cabinets with 5-foot tubes on each side, so there's 2 5-foot tubes, and his glass looks beautiful.
Nice.
I'll get a picture of that and send it to you. I have another, real quick, I know we're counting down on time here. I have another...
we run out of time. We'll just downlight it to the...
Pull up another.
Pull up another.
Yeah.
So I have another antique shop. Basically, he had really terrible halogen strip lighting in all these display cases. You couldn't see anything in there. 2 days after the LEDs were installed in these display cases, he sold like 6 to 12 items out of each case.
There you go. It's hard science.
You can convert fluorescent tube lighting to LEDs.
That's what I specialize in. This lighting above us here.
What is that? The light bulb just go off over your head? What was that look?
No, I don't think that was made clear that you can that.
I don't even know what that means. So why is that so?
You were saying 300 watts. The part where he was saying 300 watts versus 90 watts.
Right.
Is this like the...
So you can take regular lights that have fluorescent T5 fixtures and replace only the bulbs with LED lighting bulbs.
Oh, okay. They have the same input,
right,
where you can just plug it in.
That needs to be clear because a lot of guys you don't know what we're talking about.
Now, can you flower with that? Are they available in both HPS and metal halide?
They are still blue and red, or just blue?
No, yeah, just the blue. Just a veg state. You can do our LED strip light. So, for example, you have a T5 high bay system. You'd have to put in new tombstones to support our light. You'd pull the ballast out, put our drivers in, and you're done. This light above us here, same thing. You pull that ballast out, you take those tubes out, you put our LED tubes in with the driver. You went from 128 watts to 64 watts. You wouldn't even need if you put 4 LED tubes in that troffer above us, it'd be too much probably. You can get away with 3, you can get away with 2, but every person's different. Some people love light, some people don't like the light. Real quick note too: our new 4-foot tube is dimmable, so we have dimmable technology in our 4-foot tube light, which is like I said, Titan's leading the industry in this. They're 16 watts UL test. It's Underwriter Laboratories is tested at 80,000 hours right now. So they're still testing it. They're saying it's going to go over 100,000. Wow. All our high bay lights, they're over 100,000 hours. So
over a decade of use. Wow.
You guys will love this too. It just keeps coming to me. Of course, we got 4 minutes left, but this is U.S. manufactured tube light. I believe, I don't know how much this grow light's manufactured in the U.S., but a lot of the stuff that Titan's doing is manufactured in Sim Valley, California. So our distributors right there in California. We're not having to call China to get this stuff, guys. It's U.S. made, U.S. quality.
Go. Sold. I'll buy 10 right now. Oh, but you only have 6.
Oh, sweet.
Very good. This has been very informational, Jason. It's always a pleasure to have you back down here, and I love it when people bring the knowledge about topics and information, and you've definitely done that again. So I'm going to make sure in a few more months we'll come back to you, because people need to understand lighting is important, not just from a growing aspect, for also a business aspect. You're in business is going strong. Are you still hiring? I know last time we talked, you were talking about needing some people to be representatives and the whole deal.
We are growing. We hired a new electrician, so we're, baby steps.
So let's make sure that we get at least your information so people can find you. Where do people normally communicate with you?
Phone and email.
Phone and email. Okay. Go ahead and throw out your phone and email.
Jason Green at 303-594-5358. Email is j.green. Green like the color of money, the color of weed. Green. So it's j.green at titanled.net.
Very good. And are you also on Facebook?
Yeah, you can get me on Facebook.
Is it Prestige Lighting Solutions, LLC?
Yeah. But something that you brought up there, not only quality of light is important to any business that's running, but it's also our health. These fluorescent, it's bad lighting for us. Flickering, headaches, causes cancer, lupus. It's time for that stuff to go. LED is
Turn
here.
Off the lights.
Yep, LED is here, and I see it all the time with people that we retrofit. A lot of women who work under these lights 8-10 hours a day complain of headaches. I go back and see them. They love me.
Headaches, pale skin.
They're gone.
Yeah. we're gonna get some dimmers in here, right?
We are gonna get some dimmers in here
in the new studio here. People have to check it out. We're gonna take some pictures of the studio. This is the first show we're doing out of the new studios off Wadsworth and Evans, the Studio Zoo. Yeah,
the Studio Zoo.
Still CCP Studios inside the Studio Zoo. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Joe Grow Flounder. Thank you, Bob, for accompanying and driving and participating. Thank you, Jason, from Prestige Lighting. Thank you, Scoop, for running the board, taking the pictures, and doing all that you do. We'll see you again.
Yes, sir. Definitely. I want to thank you guys definitely for putting up with me and having me down. It really means a lot to me being here with you guys.
Excellent. I appreciate it. Come back anytime, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. And let's get some more pictures with you also.
Okay.
So we can put those up on Facebook. Thanks for listening to this week's show. Make sure to come back next week. We're going to have more guests lined up, speaking with dispensary owners, growers, business owners. Make sure to follow us on all of the social media, Facebook, Google+. You can listen to our shows live from the website or your preferred listening platform. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker, even YouTube, all under the same name, CannabisCommunityProject.com. We'll see you next week.